Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana. And I have started working on mailing my cards. I didn't get them out this weekend like I thought. I trust you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I myself had a busy weekend, and yet I didn't get done anything that I had really planned on doing. I planned on decorating for Christmas. That's not done. I planned on getting Christmas cards in the mail. That's not done. Hi, Missy. Glad to have you on here. I trust you had a great Thanksgiving. But I did do some other things. So it wasn't a total waste. It was my scarf looks funny. It was a productive weekend. It just wasn't productive in the way I thought it would be. So I started thinking about the Christmas cards and thinking, depending on the kind of Christmas card that you have, the handmade kind, I mean, and even some of the store-bought ones that are made to look like handmade, some of these tips will help you out there. So I thought, you know what, I should just come on here and do a quick little video live of how to deal with the handmade cards or not, because there were some questions in my classes this weekend and in another crop that I was at where we talked about mailing handmade cards. So let me switch cameras and let's chat about mailing handmade cards. So I have two cards here, and I don't have, well, let me just, this one. So this one is one that has one little layer of dimensionals, and in case you're not sure, dimensionals are these little foam pieces. We have them in hexagon shape. We have the larger ones and the mini ones. They're about the same width though, so that's about the same. But if you use a lot of these and you do them on every single layer, your card is going to get thicker and thicker. And when it gets too thick, then a lot of times the post office is going to charge you extra money, right? So this one, I can send it easy peasy with a regular forever stamp in my envelope. So I'll just pop it into the envelope and I'll put a regular stamp on it and it's good to go. No worries, no hassle from the post office. All right, now this one doesn't have any gems or anything. It doesn't have any knots or bows or anything on it. It does have a few little dimensionals, again, right here, but otherwise it's fairly flat. So this one I too can just pop in here. I'll be able to just put my return label on here. I'll be able to put a forever stamp on here. I have Christmas ones, not those. And then address the note to the card to whoever it is going to. Easy peasy. If you don't make your cards too thick, if you don't make them too heavy with lots and lots of layers, hi Covina, nice to have you on here, then you can just mail them with a forever stamp and there's no problem. All right. Now, when you want to do cards that are a little nicer, this is one of the cards from Card Club back in July, when we did Christmas in July. So this one has the gems. It has a knot from the bow on it. It doesn't have a lot of thickness to it other than the gems and the bows. Now when you pop this into an envelope and you take it to the post office, they can feel it. You can see how it pops through. You can feel it and they're going to get you on that. So what I like to do is I like to take a cheap piece of craft cardstock from one of those box stores, and I cut them into the 4 by 5 1/4, and I lay it over this, and then I put it in the envelope, and that way it's not as noticeable and it's not going to make the little marks. It is still noticeable, but it's not as noticeable and your envelope won't tear. Then what I do is I have gotten from the post office these stamps, and I don't know how much they are. Unfortunately, it doesn't say because it's a forever stamp, but it says non-machinable surcharge. So you just take one of these yellow butterfly, that's what I call them, yellow butterfly stamps, put that on here, and you are good to go. Because this helps them know that it really shouldn't be machined because of the gems. Now, if you don't use this, If you don't have any and you don't use that, you could use any old cardstock you wanted. But if you send it through that like this, then you definitely have to have one of these stamps on it. Otherwise, you might get it back, or the person on the other end will have to pay to get your card. And of course, we don't want that to happen. That's no fun if they have to pay to get the card. If you have this in here, you can try and send it. You can make the effort to send it with just a regular stamp. But I usually just keep it safe. And this helps the card not get torn up. It helps the envelope not get torn up, so that I can send it and the person who's supposed to get it will get it. And then I pop one of these stamps on there. I pop my return label on there. And then what I do is I put all my, I don't want to show people's addresses on here, but I do this, I do labels for the people who are getting it. So my address book is now labels. That helps make it faster because I want to be able to take the time to write on the inside of my cards. I don't want all my time to be filling out the envelope. Now, when you're decorating your envelopes, keep your decorations to the left-hand side of your envelope, because the post office gets this side and they don't take too kindly to you using the whole front. So keep it to the left side, or like I do, a lot of flaps. And that way your flaps are decorated, they work and they go with your card, but they don't detract from the post office. So keep decorations to the left or on the flaps, and leave this part of the envelope for the post office. And that way you don't get in trouble and you don't get it back, because when you send a card, you don't want it back, and you don't want the people on the other end to have to pay to get it. So you want to keep these things in mind. So don't make them too thick, don't make them too heavy, and if you do, just know that you need a different envelope. If you have the gems, you need this envelope because it's a non-machinable, this stamp because it's a non-machinable stamp. So I don't know if any of you have any questions. I know that people who take my classes, they hear about this all the time whenever we're doing classes, of being careful where to stamp on their envelope, what kinds of things they can do, and then protecting the card as well as the machine from getting damaged, because it's this kind of thing where people sent out cards with lots of embellishments on it that then have damaged the machine or have torn up the envelopes. And then the person you're sending it to gets these damaged cards. And that's no fun. That's not your intention with it. So that was just a quick little Tidbit Tuesday, I guess. We're going to probably come back to doing Tidbit Tuesday to give you just some tips on mailing your cards and how to make it quick and easy so that you can get them mailed. Because I know for me, I want to get them mailed this year. I apparently have not mailed very many over the course of the last few years because I found an abundance of Christmas cards. So I am working on getting those out in the mail. And so if I don't remember what I said. I lost my train of thought. So if I don't remember, if I don't keep this in mind, then it will take me longer. So get your address on a label, okay? Get your addresses of the people that you're sending it to on a label, and that will cut a lot of your time, and then you can spend the time writing a quick little note in the cards. I also do a letter, like a little newsletter about what's happening. Great tips. Thanks, Missy. I do a little newsletter in mine, but of course you don't have to. And some years I do, and some years I don't. This year I may, because of the new things that have happened in our life with Kitar graduating and everything, but most people know that he graduated because they got graduation announcements. So we'll see. I might just be doing hand notes. But in any case, I just wanted to share some quick tips on mailing your handmade cards. So have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. We're going to bump it up to 9 o'clock because I have a 10 o'clock Zoom training. So we're going to bump Paper Pumpkin Playdate to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Mountain Time. That's 11 Eastern Time. And so I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.